Oh, come on, he's a miserable cocksucker fucking asshole. You hate him, admit it.
So, I'm going to talk about something going on in the cannabis online community. As you know, as the years have gone by and more places have become both medicinally legal and recreationally legal, such as it is here in the great big state of Massachusetts, you have a lot of different types of people who are part of this cannabis community online. And some of them, like Miss Coral Reefer, who's the person at the center of what we're going to talk about right now, have only been around the cannabis community for about 5 years. People like Miss Coral are in their mid to late 20s. People like Coral Reefer were born into cannabis, reform laws. They were born into situations where shit was medicinally legal. They never had to deal with the idea of possibly going to jail over a nickel bag of dope. Okay. Then you have other people, like the other party in this little argument, disagreement, whatever you want to call it, Marc Emery. Now, if you don't know who Marc Emery is, you're not that good of a stoner, in my opinion. Mr. Marc Emery has fought his entire life in both this country and in Canada for the reform of marijuana laws, more so the rights of marijuana users. He opened some of the first clubs in Canada. He did 5 years in U.S. federal prison for selling cannabis seeds to American residents. He has been arrested numerous occasions for his support of the cannabis industry. And at some point during the weekend, I think on Saturday, something popped up on my feed, courtesy of Miss Coral Reefer. Now, like I said, if you don't know who she is, and I wouldn't be doubtful if you don't, Coral, like I said, she's 28 years old. She's been in the online cannabis game for about 5 years. She currently has 118,000 subscribers that she calls World Reefers. And she makes quite the good living as almost an internet spokesmodel for, cannabis products and stoner related products and apparel. Now, she doesn't interview people. She doesn't have any skills other than smoking weed that I can see. She goes to these events and she gives away free stuff, which is similar to what she does on her own channel. But yesterday, or Saturday rather, she went ahead and posted this on her official website. Please allow me to rescind any support extended for the Emerys. If you've already seen my Snapchat, Twitter, or Insta story today, you know that I'm deeply upset to find out that Marc Emery doesn't believe in trans people. Beyond his own lack of belief in their reality, Marc Emery doesn't believe in racism or sexism. I've asked him to clarify his statements multiple times. He is not. I'm left with what he has said, which is shared in the places I've mentioned above. So to support the right to deny anyone service because of how they were born is wrong. To open cannabis clubs, beg for support while you break the law, open more clubs even in gay neighborhoods, and then say you just don't believe in trans people is what Marc Emery is doing. I need you as World Reefers to know that I love you, that no idol or hero of mine is above being confronted about their hate speech. I've spent half a decade defending the Emerys and Jodie, couldn't even spell my boyfriend's name right. They're not about love and acceptance. They're not allies with the LGBT community. Please watch the stories or snaps I've shared. See for yourself on Mark's timelines that he won't directly apologize to trans people, won't answer me at all, and leaves up hateful anti-trans posts. Now, it's fucking Pride Month, all right? So I saw this, and I'm immediately like, yo, I don't give a fuck who it is. You can't talk shit about the LGBT community, especially now, especially this month. So I looked into it, and I wanted to see exactly what it was. What kind of hate speech? What kind of fucking shit did Marc Emery put on the fucking internet for all to see? Did he use the word faggot? Did he call somebody a fucking tranny? Did he use the word shim? Did he assume someone's gender pronoun? What did Marc Emery do to trigger Coral, who up till now I've seen to be a fairly reasonable and logical chick? So on her Facebook, she posted the offending comment, and I'm going to go ahead and read that to you as well. Marc Emery posted, "Most times in the community, we say accept yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. But trans people are being encouraged to not accept themselves as they are, but as how they feel. Feelings are transient. Biology is not. So when a person decides they are trans, it seems to me that they are rejecting everything about their objective reality, their biological existence, and determining their identity in defiance of biological order. Does the desire to pursue how an individual may feel justify permanent surgery, a lifetime of hormone treatments, chemical treatments, and all sorts of adaptations in order to deny their biological reality?" That's all he said. What he did was call for a thoughtful discussion on whether the total amount of changes that are going on medically through people based on their temporary, possibly transient emotions and feelings was necessary. I'm honestly not, I don't think that what the statement he made was offensive at all. Okay. He's not judging anyone. He's not telling anyone not to be transgendered. He's not telling anybody not to be anti-transgender. So I don't find any fucking problem whatsoever with what Mr. Emery said. And not one transgendered person has come out and said that they have a problem with what Mr. Emery said. Now, what Coral has done here is she has personalized and made something far more an attack than it needs to be. And here's why. As part of Coral's statement, she complained that Jodie Emery couldn't spell her boyfriend's name right. Now, why would Coral even bring that up if the problem is that Jodie and Marc are somehow anti-trans? Well, Coral Reefer's boyfriend used to have a vagina. His name is Mio. I'm sure he's a very nice man, but he wasn't always a man. Okay? So we get it, Coral. I understand. You're 28. You're from the Bay Area, which is the center of all leftist, SJW, snowflake, easily triggered, fucking 20-something-year-old professional stoner white girl place. Okay? So I understand that your attitudes about trans people, that your attitudes about transgender were formed in that environment, in an environment that you were born into, that you didn't have to fight for any of your rights to smoke weed or to be who you want to be. All right? Marc Emery is a 60-year-old Canadian man. Allow him to be a 60-year-old Canadian man. You say he doesn't believe in racism? Well, he's white and he's Canadian. He's probably not ever experienced racism, not personally as a victim, and probably not by extension, because Canadians are notoriously accepting of all people. Okay? You said he doesn't believe in sexism. Well, like I said, he's a 60-year-old white man. When he was dating, it was still legal to put hands on you girls. All right? When he was dating in his early days, it was still legal to hit your woman as long as the stick wasn't bigger than the size of your thumb. Yo, big ups to Maximum Overload on the $2 super chat. And that's what I'm saying. Marc Emery is a don in this fucking game. the point here is I get that this hits close to home for you, Coral. I get it. But trying to take on what is probably one of the top 3 figureheads in the freedom fight for cannabis users and cannabis patients over something like this is absolutely ridiculous. And the amount of triggering that must have occurred here with you is absolutely fantastic. Now, she wants to claim that she is also some sort of a freedom fighter and that it was her mentioning the Emerys while Marc was locked up that somehow got them the support of the cannabis community. Support they already fucking had. Support that they've had for dozens upon dozens of fucking years. When people want to go and look at a blonde girl who's got weed leaves tattooed on her thighs, when they want to see her ass, they go see Coral's Instagram. When people want to know what's really up in the cannabis community, they go to Marc and Jodie Emery. Okay? When I want to see some dipshit Flibberty Gibbet wear knee-high weed socks, giggle, and do fucking bong rips into a fucking camera, I'll go check out Coral Reefer's channel. But when I want to see a strong female example of the cannabis community, a woman who ran for Prime Minister of Canada on a platform of cannabis reform, we go to Jodie. Okay? If I got some t-shirts I want to give away, or a new product, or I want to get some sort of fucking quick and cheap fucking, promo for my stuff, I'll hit you up, Coral. But when I want to know about the actual freedom fight and the actual moves and logical decisions and things that were made to get us to a point where it's not only recreationally legal, but also medically legal in several places, I go to them. I don't go to you. And neither should anybody else. So in this case, if you want to go searching for negative stories about Marc, if you want to say, put out calls for, if you've been harassed by Marc Emery, contact me, then you are searching too hard for shit to call this man on. If he is such the demon that you say, if he's so anti-trans and he's a racist and he's a fucking sexist, somebody would have said something by now. He's only been doing this since the 1960s. I don't even want to know what year she was born in. Fucking 98 or something, probably. No, I'm fucking exaggerating more than likely there. But for someone of such a young age who has been able to enjoy such a cushy, well-paid, well-traveled existence, going around doing nothing but smoking weed and meeting people, Coral, you should shut the fuck up. It sucks that your boyfriend used to have a vagina and that you can't get over it enough that someone can't have a differing opinion about the subject. I looked on your boyfriend Mio's Facebook and his Twitter and his Instagram, and he didn't say shit about this. So who's butthurt now? Because is it the transgendered guy who's butthurt? Or is it his fucking nosy, no good fucking girlfriend who's attempting to attack a titan in the cannabis community over a difference of opinion? I encourage all y'all out there, look into this. Go look at what he said, and then look at what she accused him of saying. It was two entirely different things. She's essentially making shit up. Nowhere in his statement did he say anything about denying service to anybody who was transgendered, lesbian, gay, bisexual, goat fucker, anime file, pedophile, any of that shit. And on top of challenging you all to go get more information on this shit, I want to challenge Coral. Coral, I don't even think you've ever been to a place where cannabis is illegal. So until you and your world reefers go somewhere like Mississippi or Florida, or better yet, Texas, and you allow yourself to willfully be arrested for the use of the beautiful plant cannabis sativa or cannabis indica, don't fucking talk on the God. Don't talk on a guy who was in jail when you rose to power on YouTube with giggles and fucking dipshittedness and cleavage and ass cheeks. Jodie Emery and Marc Emery did not build their cannabis culture empire on ass shots and free giveaways. They built their cannabis empire on being arrested, doing time, running political parties, and doing actual tangible work for the fucking cannabis legalization movement. So if you're a fucking spokesmodel who isn't good looking enough in person to actually be a spokesmodel, and she had to go on YouTube to hide the fact she wears more makeup than a clown, she needs to shut the fuck up. And I hope she fucking sees this, even though she blocked me on every social media the minute I fucking questioned her about this. So she wants to talk about people not answering questions. Well, she's the one who needs to answer questions because she's the one making baseless, untrue, slanderous, and libelous accusations against Marc Emery and his wife, Jodie. And right now, anybody familiar with the situation should know they do not need it. They were recently rearrested by Canadian authorities, are in the middle of court proceedings, and are facing life in prison for the use of the beautiful plant cannabis. And then we got this SJW snowflake who's never known of day, who's never known an actual day of cannabis, like of cannabis prohibition, at least not where she lives in California. I mean, this is somebody who turned 18 when we had medical laws in the state of California already in place. So this is someone who never had to experience actual marijuana prohibition. But she's going to attack Marc Emery, a guy who did 5 years over some seeds. Like I said, ass shots, titties, bong rips, and free stuff. That's you, Coral. Actual legalization efforts, actual fucking movement rights, actual fucking freedom fighters. Those are the fucking Emerys. So shut the fuck up. I hope all 100 of you out there can share this broadcast, can make sure you're throwing me a like down below. Make sure if you haven't done so, you subscribe. We're here every night, Monday through Thursday, 11:30 p.m. to just about 1 a.m. Yo, she is not good looking either. I'm like, I don't want to call her names and I don't want to badmouth her, but she's not good looking. Where she's from and the fact that she fucking has a boyfriend that used to have a vagina. I get that. But that doesn't mean everybody has to agree with you that your boyfriend now having a penis, it was the right thing. And you trying to destroy someone's hard-built reputation in this cannabis game over something that has nothing to fucking do with cannabis is retarded. And I hope it blows up in her fucking stupid face. I hope it blows up right in her face, just like it looks like her foundation did. How dare you?